again, Natti Gee from the UK. How are you guys? How are you all? It's 4 o'clock. A song comes to mind, but I can't sing it. But I can say I'm wide awake at 4 a.m. And maybe you can put in the comments what song that comes from. But you're going to probably cheat and type it into Google. If I'm talking to over 50s particularly, or over, I think it would have to be over 40s, 50s, then you would know that automatically. It's one of my songs that I like singing. I'm going to title this video, when I do upload it, I'm a nobody, get me out of here, right? You know, I said once grass is greener on the other side, and yes, it is. But really, the UK, I'm not being funny, but I'm 52. I've lived here all my life. It's really not all it's cracked up to be. Whenever people come over here to live and really settle, I always wonder why, especially when I hear they came from beautiful countries. I'm just thinking, why would you swap the beautiful sunshine and general happiness for this? A lot of people that come from foreign countries see this as a land of opportunities. What do you guys think? Do you see the UK as a land of opportunities? You probably do, but think about it. I can't testify on other people's behalf, so I can only testify on my own, but I can definitely say to you that most people that I know, I wouldn't say they're not happy, but how many people can afford even one holiday a year at this rate, at this time in our lives? I say how many people, of course lots of people can, but I'm just saying lots of people can't. The normal average working person is not going to be able to really enjoy this life. Like I said before, you've got to have money in this country. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me. But that's okay, because that's the whole point. Disagree, agree, that's fine. We're all different. But I just think, I'll give you the example of my auntie. For example, right? She passed away some years ago, and she was the only auntie that I was close to. My family's very typically English, cold as anything. Everybody's in their separate worlds. Nobody cares about anyone really. And I knew that when she died, that the whole connection of family would be over. She was the only one who held it together, or tried to every now and then, once a year or something. My auntie, she worked her whole life. She was a hard worker, and she did have more than one holiday a year actually. She did treat herself to maybe 2. She was a badminton coach. She worked in an office her whole life. And when she finally sat down to enjoy the work of her hands, the fruit of her labour, you could say, she did so for a very short time, and then she got cancer and passed away. I remember her sitting in her newly built patio and being so proud of being able to finally afford that, paying off her mortgage finally. All her life to pay off that mortgage, and then what happens? She dies at the end. And then they do all this inheritance tax, and everything she leaves has to be spread out, and nobody really gets it as much as they really should. This country, something else. I'm not saying it's the only country like that. I can't really talk for other countries, but I can just say this country because I live here. I'm just saying this country, yes, we're sophisticated in some ways. We have technology, things, we have a modern life. You know, you go to some countries and the roads are not built up the same way. You're walking on stones that are moving and stuff. I get it. Are they happier though? I don't know. I suppose you'd have to go to every country and ask them. But you know what? I suppose the grass is always green on the other side. So they might say, oh, we'd love to go to England because it's the land of opportunities. But when you come here, you spend your whole life working like a dog. And then shortly after you finally retired and got to maybe pay off your house, if you're lucky. I've never owned a house. I'm 52. I realise I'm never going to have a house. I always kind of wanted to. I've always wanted to be a fly on the wall in some of those beautiful mansions you see on like Bishop's Avenue, or in certain parts even of Watford, some of these beautiful houses, and Hampstead. And I've always wanted to just knock the door and say, can I just have a look around? Can I just look around? Because it's so beautiful from the outside. People who have houses, they work all their lives. If they're lucky, they pay them off. If they're not, they still haven't even paid them off, and then hopefully the insurance kicks in and pays off the rest. I don't know. I've never owned a house, so I can't really talk much about what I don't know. I know people who've got houses, and I even know people who've paid off their houses. If you've paid off your house, what a blessing. What a great thing, because from now on, that's not going to happen easily. Anyway, so what do you guys think of the UK? I don't know, but I feel at this stage of my life, I guess I've always wanted to live somewhere else, but I haven't had the money or the choice or the work to do it. You can't just get on a plane and go somewhere and set up shop unless you have an online job. Has anybody got an online job for me that I can do from anywhere? Because I would be on a plane tomorrow. Well, maybe not tomorrow, but very soon. And then I'd commute once in a while. Preferably with a, private beach. And just a coconut tree, maybe something simple. I really don't need a lot. Actually, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? Maybe a swimming pool. So cool. Anyway, some people really have the life, and it's wrong to be jealous or begrudge them. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying I would really love that. So guys, if you want to subscribe to my channel, you never know. You know that if you don't just view it, but you subscribe to it, get your friends to press that button. Actually, it's not even a button. It's like you move the mouse and you sort of click on subscribe. It's really easy, just saying. Anyway, what do you think, guys, about living in the UK? Am I dogging my country? Am I wrong? Well, I am half English and half Israeli, but I have lived here all my life. And I do hate it. Just saying. Have I got a choice? Not really. If I had a choice, would I leave? If I had over $1 million, I would leave. Honestly, not tomorrow, but soon after. As soon as I sorted everything out, I would leave. Where would I go? Not sure yet. I'd like to have enough money to investigate where I'd go. So I'm going somewhere, like I said, in January on my Avios points. And I'm so glad. I'm not going to have much to spend or anything, but I don't care. As long as I can eat, that's fine. I just want to get away from here, please. Anyway, what do you think, guys? If you had the option living in this country and living like we are, where the average wage is 30k and the average house price is 250 or more K, and we might have a holiday a year if we're lucky, but we're too stressed to even enjoy that when we have it because it's such a fast-lane country. Do you ever feel like it's so fast? I'm a hyper person and I've calmed down, like I said in my recent videos, a lot. But earlier, I was in the car and I was actually, I don't know why I get like this. You see, it's this country, I'm sure it is. I'm shouting in the car at the driver in front of me because they won't just get on with it or just turn right if you're going to turn right. And I'm shouting, and it's no point in me shouting because they can't hear me. I'm like, can you move? I don't know. It's really bad. I'm not sure where I get that from, but it's really bad. And, oh yeah, I went to the bank. And you know when you're standing in a queue and you really want to shout because people are taking so long, and that's really wrong because when it's my turn, and we all know this, we all do this, we just take our time. It's like, hi, yeah, so, oh, how are you? Yeah, okay, yeah. And we even have a conversation. But when people in front of us are doing that, so annoying. You finish your transaction or whatever you're doing. Now you're talking and complimenting, the cashier or something and having a chat. What? We're in the queue, mate. Hurry up. But because I'm not a violent person, I've never been a aggressive kind of person, I just can't say anything. But what I feel like doing is saying, can somebody get on with it? Get what I'm saying? I feel like saying, for goodness sake, guys, we're in a queue here. Can you move it along? I really felt like it today. Maybe it's my moods. Mood swings again. But yeah, move it, mate. Do you get what I mean, fam? Anyway, sorry, that was my London coming out. So, should we get out of this country is my point. Blatant. Let's go there. Should we get out of the UK? Get out of this place. Take our money if we've got any, which I haven't, but if we've got any money, get out with our money and invest it somewhere else. Rent somewhere else. Buy somewhere else. Live in the sunshine. Maybe somewhere like Fuerteventura. I don't know. Where it's kind of warmer all year. And, so the sunshine just feels nice and makes you less moody and smile a bit more, and you're not such a miserable git like most English people are. Did I just say that? Sorry. It's not their fault they're miserable gits. It's just they're miserable gits because they live in this country. We've got hardly any sun. It rains a lot, and forget that weather part. We live in small pokey houses. It's not like in America where everything's big. They talk about walk-in closets. Our bedrooms are walk-in closets. Our bedrooms are pokey. I'm not talking about all you people with money out there, those mansion houses that I talked about earlier that I'd love to knock on the door and say, how did you afford it, number one? Maybe it's old money and you did it a long time ago when things were actually reasonable. This is not relative anymore. It's gone beyond relative. It's not. It doesn't make sense because I know when I was growing up, houses were, I don't know, 20, 30 grand. And even before that, houses were 5 grand and 6 grand and stuff like that. And people were earning money and they could put things aside and they could come up with that. And even in those days, the woman would stay at home often and the man would work. Well, feminism has stopped all that. They wanted their right to be equal and they got it. And now we both have to go. But anyway, that's another story for another video. But the point is, they could do that if they chose to. They could stay at home if they wanted to. They would say now, probably, we don't want to though. But anyway, should we get out of the UK, guys? I'm a nobody. Get me out of here. Tell me how many people are like me and feel like they need to get the heck out. Have a nice evening. I'm finally going to go to bed, probably about 6 a.m. It's really a bad move. But when I can get away with it and I haven't got things to do the next day, if ever I get days like that, I do it. Unfortunately, I'm still up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm so tired. Have a nice, I was going to say have a nice night, but it's morning now. So have a nice morning and later. And guys, tell me what you think in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel and make me rich. Never going to happen. But you know what I'm saying. Like, at least try. All right. Bye, guys.